Alex Pereira had an uncharacteristically lackluster performance in his fight against Magomed Ankalaev, and Michael Bisping suggests that the Brazilian might be dealing with a serious issue. Bisping believes the former champion is suffering from burnout, an emotional disorder that causes extreme stress and physical exhaustion due to intense work. Also, check out Alexander Volkanovski's statement on Ilia Topuria moving up in weight without giving him a rematch, and Diego Lopes's thoughts on Topuria's division change. First, let's take a look at the serious topic Michael Bisping discussed on his podcast regarding Alex Poatan potentially facing burnout, which could explain his unusual and underwhelming performance against Magomed Ankalaev.
Also, you got to think, and this is not making an excuse for Pereira or excusing my incorrect pick, was Pereira maybe a little burned out? Perhaps, maybe that's why he was a little flat, because 5 training camps in a very short space of time, 5 fights, and then all the other distractions that come with being a megastar. Maybe he was burned out. So maybe he comes back better, but that remains to be seen.
That remains to be seen, and that is a damn good point, because I don't care how big of a megastar you are. When you're traveling around and you're going to Australia and you're cornering people and you're training at different gyms and you're hopping on these big international flights and you've done it time and time again, and then fight weeks and all the things that are involved in that, you do burn out. And I'm not saying, again, same as you, it's not an excuse. I'm not putting it out there for anybody, but you could feel that a little bit. He just felt a little bit not himself in there that night. And I don't know if he was himself and he had more time off, if it had gone any differently, but that was still something to consider and a factor in that. And I think if he has some time off, go chill with your family, man. Go shama it up a little bit, get that shama back. I think it'd be a much more exciting fight either way. I don't think he would fight like that again if they had a rematch. And that's why I think we all love him so much. The fact that that dude is willing to defend his belt, I forget what it was, like 3 or 4 times in a span of just over a year or something like that. That's incredible.
He broke records. Ronda Rousey held the record before. He broke that. And that's a great point, because anyone can talk all the shit they want and say that wasn't the greatest era of light heavyweights. And I agree, it wasn't, but so what? But some people might become champion and then all of a sudden they don't want to fight very frequently. He was willing to put it on the line every other week. He'll take it short notice. He'll fly back from Australia. He'll take it injured. He was willing to do that. So you can't disrespect the man's approach, the balls that he has, the excitement, the performances, all of that stuff. The man is an incredible champion. He's a winner in life.
It's also worth noting that rumors have surfaced about Alex Pereira having a broken hand before the fight, though his team has not confirmed this information. Ilia Topuria has faced heavy criticism from some fans for defending his belt only once and not fighting some of the biggest names in his former division, such as rising star Diego Lopes. Now, hear exactly what the Brazilian had to say about Topuria's move up in weight, revealing that he himself might fight at lightweight and has already discussed the possibility with his trainers.
É cara que pode conseguir grandes coisas dentro da categoria, é cara bastante atlético, é cara bastante jovem também, acho que tem 27, 28 anos, então acho que ele tem tempo ainda para fazer uma boa carreira na categoria de cima.
Você acha que ele volta um dia pro MMA, caso ele chegue lá e não renda tanto assim?
Pois, se ele volta, espero ser o campeão e poder lutar com ele.
Imagina um futuro você lutando de 70, ou é muito grande, ou até descer para 61 seria mais possível?
Cara, eu já tenho conversado com o meu nutriólogo, ele tem falado pra mim, você pode estar na categoria que você quiser, já seja 61, você tem o peso pra lutar de 61, tem o peso pra lutar de 66, e também pode subir um pouco de peso pra lutar, tem a estatura e a altura pra lutar de 155 também, mas por agora, enfoque na sua categoria, e já depois a gente vê o que o futuro depara pra você. Então agora eu tô focado na categoria, talvez no futuro possa subir, não sem nenhum problema, fazer umas boas lutas aí no 155.
Alexander Volkanovski also spoke out about Topuria moving up before they could have their rematch, stating that he still hopes they'll get to fight again someday. That's what we thought it was going to be. I did the face-off. Originally, early, that's what I wanted. Then it got to a point where I didn't know what was happening. You're hearing Topuria even talk about maybe moving up. I'm like, is this just negotiations? What's going on? I didn't think too much of it, so we're still game planning for Ilia. Then hearing, could it maybe be Lopes? So by this stage, I'm like, just give me anyone now. My first option, obviously, would have been Ilya. But then it got a point where I don't care. Just make sure I'm fighting for a title at this date because I don't want to wait any longer. I want to get that win back, but I also want to prove I can beat this new school. I want to do that with Ilya. He's gone, but I can still do that with the new school. Part of my comeback story is I can still take out these new guys. Trust me. So that's still good for my story. Lopes, he's young, hungry, on a tear at this moment. I go out and do that and be like, wow, Volk still got it. Michael Bisping also weighed in on the situation, stating that in his opinion, Topuria will likely face Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title in his very first fight in the division. Now check out why Bisping is so convinced this will happen, and why he believes it won't take long.
Ilya said on Saturday that he's got a big announcement to make soon and it's going to blow everybody's mind. Something like that. Dana White was asked about it at the 3:13 post-fight press conference. They said he's got a big announcement. Is it fight-related? And he was like,
I don't know. That I don't know. Probably.
But the real question, who is the opponent going to be? There's a ton of options for Ilya Topuria, but the reality is Islam Makhachev has got to fight somebody soon, and so does Ilya Topuria. If you ask me to bet, I think Islam Makhachev versus Ilya Topuria, because any of those guys, Arman, Charles, Justin, sure, they'd all be phenomenal fights, and they'd all have a realistic chance of potentially beating Ilya Topuria. Granted, Ilya is special. I'm not saying that he's not. But if he lost to them, there's a massive market opportunity lost there, because Ilya versus Islam, Ilya with the rise, Ilya still being in a lot of people's minds, the featherweight champion against the lightweight champion, there's something there. And yeah, if he loses to Gage, but then 2-3 fights later gets a shot, it's not quite the same sell. The public wouldn't be quite as still invested. So I think they're going to give him the title fight. I think Islam's going to take it.
But I think if Ilya Topuria does, he is going to 155. I would like him to see fight Charles Oliveira, fight Max. Well, he already beat Max. Fight somebody. Then if you become the #1 contender, then there's no reason Islam shouldn't take that fight. And I think Islam is on board with that. I just think if he wants to come up and fight Islam right away, I think, you know, you got to at least, that's my opinion. For me, that's what I like to see.
So guys, there are many narratives about why Alex Poatan didn't perform well against Ankalaev, but so far, neither he nor his coaches have addressed the matter. What do you think? Could Alex Pereira be dealing with something like burnout? And regarding Ilya Topuria, do you believe the Georgian fighter will end up facing Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title right away? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can discuss. If you're a true MMA fan and love staying up to date on everything happening in the fight world, you won't want to miss these 2 other videos on the screen right now. Both are must-watch content, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them while keeping yourself informed on the latest MMA news. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to help spread the word. See you next time.